is going on, everybody? It is me, Jay Renard, and we are here. Let me turn this down a bit. We are here getting ready to get a project, or actually a couple of projects ready to be shipped out. Whoa, my bad. Did it hit your tail? I'm sorry. No, I just feel really bad, Doug. Sorry about that. Let me scooch a little closer. All right. So, trying a different camera angle instead of the top down, we're gonna go with the over the shoulder. See how that works out. I'm also going to try and pull up pull up the live stream, but on mute, so I can see if anybody pops in. There we go. Anyway, you should be able to see if anybody comes through on the in the chat. All these extra steps I got to go through. There we go. And now, hopefully, I don't miss anything. So that is a bit loud. There we go. All right. So the one that's definitely going out today is this one. The other ones, yeah, these two here. These will be getting worked on, but this one's definitely going out today. So this one's getting glued up, and I'll sew off screen. I've already got one layer of the edge paint on there already. So I already got the one layer on there, and got those all up there. So I'm gonna go with uh, definitely one, possibly two more layers, just so it lays nice and clean. All right. And so with all the edge prep, after you lay down the first layer, then you hit it with a fine grit sandpaper just to make the edge a little bit rougher so that the next coat sticks on there really well. It's the same principle as laying down some primer and then roughing up the surface of the paint so that the next layer will adhere to it better. This order came from a friend of mine who I was stationed with back in San Diego, my second go round in San Diego. And I appreciate him and his wife was one who put in the order. I appreciate them keeping me in mind. Um, I didn't have the same shade of blue that I had when I first made the listing, so I tried dyeing the hide. turned out okay, but it bled really bad. Um, so I hit him up and I was like, hey, the only ones I got is a lighter shade of blue. Is that okay? He said it was. So I'm proceeding forward with the lighter shade. Still gonna give it the darker blue edge paint for the accent. I think that's a good way to get it to stand out. And for those of y'all that don't know, having a fan over the stuff that you just did with the edge paint helps it to dry just a little bit faster. I'm a big fan of it. You just gotta find the right size fan running at the right side, at the right speed, and you should be all right. So if you haven't noticed already, I'm only going over the top because when it would be too hard to do the edge paint for this section here on the top and the top card and the top piece there when the piece is already sewn together. I could put that somewhere else a little bit better. And just prop it like so. Yep, that works. So yeah, it would be too difficult to try to get the edge paint going on the top pieces. Oh. On the top of the pieces rather. After it's put together. So I'm just doing the tops now. And then when it's all put together, then I'll true up the edges and then apply the edge paint going around the rest of the piece. All right. So I started last night finishing up these pieces. Whoa, that bled through. So you can see that on this piece of ostrich here, which I call dark cherry, you should be able to see it pretty well. So I started that already. I think I've only got 2 coats on there. So I'm gonna give it one more. But I'm gonna wait until these coats here wrap up because I don't wanna mix colors. But this one's gonna turn out really, really well. I feel it. Oh wow! Thought I did the top pieces here already. Guess not. All right, so those can sit there. And oh, shout out to Peter Knits for giving me the idea for the fan blowing across. I would never have considered something as simple as a fan would make this dry faster, especially when, technically speaking, it's cooler air, but it's taking the moisture out of the paint far faster. And since it's drying a little bit quicker, or noticeably quicker, you have a lower chance of the edge paint pulling up and going further down and dripping off to one side or the other. So that little technique has saved me a bunch of time. So I'm very, very grateful for that little bit of insight. And while that is going down, actually use these. Whoa. I think this is probably the most annoying part of edge painting is cleaning the tool used. It's very interesting. But yeah, if you don't keep it clean, if you don't clean out the I guess the grooves, I'm not sure what the proper term is, then the paint won't pull as much paint. So you're gonna have to reapply significantly faster. If you have poor application, you won't get as much done in a proper amount of time. And while you don't need to be completely perfect with it, it does help to give it a good once over. This one was pretty clean beforehand, but there's a fair amount of time in between application, so I'm just clearing up the gunk now so that it doesn't get far gunked up later when I'm doing these other pieces. They're gonna take a lot longer. Keep that centered in frame more. There we go. Every now and then I'll use a wire brush, but I put it away, so this is what's gonna have to get used. I think the first one is ready to go. No, yeah, that's definitely gonna need probably 2 more. You should be able to see it's not bad, but there's still a few sections where the edge paint is just not coating it fully, or as full as I'd like it, rather. Take that off. So alright, that one should turn out pretty well. Let's get this rolling. Totally forgot to prep that first one with the sandpaper, but there was enough texture on the material. The Stingray is it's got some grainy bit to it, or maybe not grainy, but it's just not as smooth. So, but this would absolutely necessitate the the prepping. But I'm using 1000 grit because I just need some light surface scratches. I don't need to take off material. I just need for it to be rough instead of shiny or rougher. And the 1000 grit does a really good job of that. That is coming along nicely. I think that might be the last coat for that one. Lord willing and the creek don't rise. Yeah, this one's kind of got the same issue as the previous piece. I mean, obviously it's the Stingray, but truthfully, I think this one might be the last application also. So we'll see. Yep. If I am very, very lucky, then that will be it for all three of these. This one's turning out. Thank you, Doug. Sorry about the whole chair thing earlier. Sadly, Doug is not in frame, but he is off to the side. I'll show him later. Oh, completely forgot. Uh, Watch of the day. I've got the 44 millimeter. Actually, I'm sorry, the 40 millimeter Apple Watch on the Louis Vuitton boom strap. I made this one. It's an upcycle. Somebody was selling a bag that had the handles all messed up, and yeah, I think we might be done here. So I'm gonna clean this up. So I bought the bag and I took it apart, made a couple of things with it. Didn't have enough room, material rather left for some of the other projects that I wanted to make. What the heck? That thing. Little piece off the top. So I didn't have enough pieces for another wallet or anything like that, but I had enough for a watch band, so I decided I'll go for it. It turned out all right. Um, I was pleased with it enough to know that I could make more, but I also knew that I could make something better. So I didn't put this one up for sale. I just kept it. Yes, Doug, how can I help you? See, y'all can't see this, but he just put his nose in my back. He wants something, but I don't know what, because I literally just fed him right before the live stream. All right, this one's done. The blue's getting put away. So now we're gonna roll with the dark Bordeaux. Hashtag not sponsored. Hashtag Tandy, please sponsor me. That's what we're going with here. You can see I've been using this shop rag here for my edge painting for quite a while. Mm-hmm. All right, so sorry that you all got to witness my OCD. I'll do better next time, I promise. All right, so now all of this is going to be done in the red, minus this one here, which is already done. So let's clear these things out of the way. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start on this inside. Actually, the only one that needs to be done at the moment is this upper edge here, because the rest of it will be done after it's stitched up. So it's gonna be this upper edge here, and then the edges to the flap that will be going over the top. And let's get these little fray pieces off the side there. There we go. For those who are comfortable with doing that, it's a great way to get little frays off the edges, things like that. Good to go. If you're not, then by all means, just scissors or something like that. That's fine. Do what you feel comfortable with after you've got some practice in. All right, that looks good to go. So we're gonna set that off to the side. That is smooth. Does need some time to set, but it can set over there, as can this one. This one feels like it's already set. So those two can chill right there. So I'm gonna do the harder part first, which is this top edge, top, bottom, whatever. The edge for the strip, because it's harder to do. This piece is very thin and not very firm. Actually, that's not enough coating. Thank you for bringing the deer antler in here, Doug. I appreciate that. I'd rather you chew on that than anything else. I've said it before in previous videos. I don't know if it's just the batch that I have or if it's this way in general, but this dark Bordeaux color edge paint is the thinnest edge paint I have ever seen or used. I don't know if that's a formula thing or if that's just the batch that I got, but it is so thin. It's very frustrating, quite honestly. All right. This one's going to be a bit awkward so far as the position I have to put it in the dry, but you know, nothing worth doing is ever easy, right? Also, if anyone is wondering why I'm holding the piece the way that I'm holding it, so what I'm doing is I am applying, rather I'm holding the piece in my non-dominant hand, with the flesh side facing to my right and the skin side facing to my left, because when I use this tool, the way that I'm holding it, the edge paint kind of pulls up as I'm holding it towards this direction. So I'm just decreasing the likelihood, as I'm holding it like this, I'm decreasing the likelihood that any of this will pool up and spill over to the front. If it pulls up and spills over, it'll spill over to the flesh side, which is easier to fix or just wipe off. Alright, so I'm going to do something similar to what I did with the last one. If I can, I probably can't. I can just use this to prop itself up. It's looking like I can't. I don't think this is heavy enough. Oh well. Is something heavy? redness on my arm, but not too much. I wish my dog understood exactly how annoying that sound is. That he's freaking chilling. But hey, it's all good. He means well. That's why we love you, Doug. That's why we love you. Just hold it like so. There we go. A little bit of human ingenuity. Ugh. Mint. Wasn't a problem before, but it's looking like it's a problem now. That one. Because it's so thin, this one's probably going to get about minimum 3, likely 4 coats. Since we're waiting, this one could get another one. I think it'll look pretty. Sorry, I keep forgetting to leave it in frame. Force a habit. We're going to scooch a little bit closer. That might have to be the last coat. That went on very poorly. It slid as opposed to rolled, which on the upside means that there's enough coats that it's nice and smooth. Smoother than I initially thought. Still. Fan died on me. It's a long, weird story about why that just worked, but still, it worked. So there we go. Thank you for moving, Doug. I appreciate it. That chewing was really starting to get on my nerves. But I guess better to do that than chew on other stuff in the house, which has not yet happened, thank goodness. is sufficient. One hopes. Come on. Just need you to send the tray back. There you go. Fries in the bag. Do this. Alright. That should be the last coat, quite honestly. Can't imagine it's gonna take more than that. Downside is now I gotta wait for this to dry and do the same thing on the other side. But hey, that's Leathercraft for you. Alright. Oh yeah, that one's good. It's already solid. Scratch this one here. Set that off to the side. Let it cure on its own. Take these off. Alright. This one, you know what? Let me just get this locked in later. As Mr. Nips refers to it as. That's too much. This piece was too thick, as a lot of ostrich, sometimes can get. The inside, this section here, looked like the inside of an old sweater. So I pulled a lot of the material off, and it made it slimmer, but I have to get some tan coat and smooth this out. You can see it still looks like a sweater on the inside, it's just not nearly as bad. It looks like it's pretty good. Just need to cure it. Shouldn't be moving that. Slash it like that. anybody has any questions, if anyone's watching, let me know. Alright. Word. Yep, sorry you all are just stuck watching me clean the tools, but I'm letting the stuff dry right now. But if anyone has any questions, if anyone's watching, let me know. Although I do have to say the over-the-shoulder shot is looking a little bit more pleasing to me, so I think we're going to do that a lot more instead of just straight up overhead. We'll see though, we'll see. There we go. Alright, so what was that? 3 coats. Should be able to get that popping. That's already got enough coats. Yeah, we can go one more. Why not? Well, I've kind of screwed myself. Nope. Lucky again. All of this just so that I can start stitching things together and then still do this again on the back end. This is truly a labor of love. One hope. Alright. Although, I do think that that's it for the edge paint preps. So now all I gotta do is prep for the gluing. So, this will come later, so I don't need it right now. That though. Goes over here. This can stay there. Trash. Wonder. Nope. I'm gonna see if I could. Whoa. Oh, come on. I need a better cord. Maybe not better. Just a different one. That cord works fine with everything else, but became a pain with this particular fan. tell from the application, that tool there is for roughing up the surface prior to gluing, for the same purposes of roughing up the surface of the material prior to applying the edge paint, so that it has something more to adhere to. A little bit higher. Let's blow on top of there. I kind of screwed myself a little bit, but I'll fix it on the back end. I'll make it work. And what I mean by I screwed myself was I applied the glue to this before I applied some tan coat to lay these fibers down. But since I already started, I'm just going to finish with the glue and then apply the tan coat prior to gluing this piece onto that piece. Make this work. Alright, so far this is what we got for the dark cherry ostrich. You know, the two-pocket wallet here. Edge coat looks pretty straight. I'm digging it. Am I in frame? Come on. There we go. Alright. So now I've just got to lay these fibers flat. So I gotta get some tan coat and slick that right there. Then can glue these up and everything will be great. Just stitch it up, ready to go. Next up, this one here. This one's good to go, quite honestly. So I'm just gonna mark where the glue should stop. Take that excess. didn't bring this up ahead of time, and I should have. Whenever you have a piece that has a good fold in it, you should be thinning out where the fold occurs. I just remembered this before I folded it and started putting it together. And after we apply some glue, go ahead. I can take a little bit more out. Okay, that's a lot better. A whole lot better. Out of the way. I'm not going to use this anymore. It doesn't need to be exposed to the air. This one looks pretty good. Protector on it. Yeah, that's better. You wanna make sure that the binder clips that you use, especially for leather that's a little bit sensitive, has a protector piece over it. And you can make those out of scrap, easy day. You know, it's weird. The actual cutting and the actual putting together take less time. Actually, less time than the edge painting because of all the waiting. Because if I had some glue that I could just put down, bam. If I had some edge paint that just would solidify and smooth as, if I could just wave a wand and make it how it needed to be, this thing would be put together so quickly it wouldn't be funny. But for the proper finishing, it will necessitate some time. No. The one time I need some scrap, I don't have any. I'll just make some. Cure. Now for this piece, it needs to be done ASAP because I started late. But it will be, so that's fine. All right, so now all that needs to happen today is stitching this up, stitching this up, uh, slicking this down, and stitching this up, and then we're done. This one is the priority though, because this one has already been paid for. So I just have to shoot off the shipping number to Etsy and let the guy know that this is on the way as soon as I'm done with the sewing. It's gonna be a pain though because Stingray is finicky, very finicky. If you can leave it at that. I don't want to have to do it by hand, but honestly, that's probably the safest route. So, and with that, that concludes the edge prep and getting the process right for the stitching. Got all the pieces ready to go, with the exception of that one. And thank you all very much for your time and attention. I'm Jay Renard, and I am out. Alright, there we go. Better frame. now I'm out. Peace. Doug moves.